These little fellows here are pollinating the garden this year. We caught this swarm about 3 weeks ago now. There's a lot of bees in there, probably 14 pounds. As you see, if you can see, their legs are covered with pollen. And they're coming and going like mad. We looked inside yesterday and they have some brood comb and larvae already in the foundation that they've built. This is a top bar hive. There was nothing but bars in there and a place for them to build comb. They have to build their own comb. Takes a lot of energy for that, but they build the cone size they want. And if you can see them legs, each leg when they come in is covered with pollen. You can see how fast 5 or 6 come out and 5 or 6 go in. We're going to do an experiment with this hive in a week or so, where we're going to put a super on top, a medium super. Now this is the same garden spot that the YouTube video was made on. This is my neighbor, Mr. Jim Barton. He's hoeing out some lima beans. And you can see this patch is doing quite well. This is one of 3 patches we have. We have a 3-acre plot in the back of the farm, and we'll possibly show some video on that later. Now if you'll notice, we have our pole beans strung up, and they're coming up and they're blooming. And we have 2 rows of okra right here, and a feeble attempt at starting some strawberries in these 2 rows, and they're full of weeds right now, and they're not all there. Some of them died. Didn't get enough water on them. We're real dry here right now, and this is all being watered from a well. It's saving us this year. Then we have our mountain fresh that we're going to string today for the 2nd time with our Florida basket weave that the YouTube video showed. These tomatoes on this side, you can see a remarkable difference down there in size. These are Romas. Then we have some jalapeno peppers and a new method that we are trying this year. It's an old method, but we've never used it before, but this is stringing up cucumbers. Let them run up and go vertical instead of horizontal on the ground. Opens up the pass. Much easier to pick, much easier to keep the bugs off. And as we go down this row, these are all jalapenos on my left here. Then the rest of this row are bell peppers all the way to the end. And these are all cucumbers down through here. And we're in the middle of tying these up. And we'll tie one up in a minute. Then right next to these cucumbers is zucchini. Notice the zucchini are a little smaller than this side. This is because I transplanted these about 2 weeks ago. They wilted down pretty bad, but They're sprung back now and they look good. Now I want to show you what this importance of these bees. This zucchini bloom right here. Some of them have had 2 bees in a bloom, as you can see right here. There's a bee right there working it. It's the first year we've had this many bees working. See a little fellow down in there getting it. This is the importance of bees. Folks, if we lose them, we're toast. If we lose them, we're toast, right, Jim?
That's right.
How much pollination do they do, you said?
3 out of 4 of the fruits and vegetables we eat are pollinated by bees. If we don't have them, we'll starve.
Here's 2 in one blossom. 2 in one blossom. Never seen so many bees. Another one trying to get in there. Alright, here's what we're doing on the cucumbers. We're recycling baling twine from a friend of Jimmy's. This stuff is taken off round bales and thrown away every year, burnt up. Our local co-op was out of our tomato twine, so Jim went and got the string. So we don't need a co-op. He's tied it at the top of a wire. We've got steel posts driven. He's burying the end of it in the ground and simply training this cuke.
Get this weed
to go right up the string. Jim, how many beehives you got?
I've got 4. And it's been so dry we hadn't had any clover much this year. If we could get some rain, get the clover to blooming, there'd be more bees. Then I'd probably have to get another swarm. I'd have to let them swarm, capture another hive. Let me tie this down.
As you can see, cucumbers are pretty forgiving. We can handle them pretty rough and they still do pretty good. They're pretty tough. You can see the blooms on them. Yesterday the bees were tearing it up. There was 1 or 2 bees and every one of them blooms. Every one of them blooms is going to be a cucumber. So you can imagine how many cucumbers there's going to be, and there already are on there. This is a pickling type on this end. If you can see, the leaves are already turned back around, adjusting to the light and the sun. These we just did, so they look a little rough, but they'll look good in a day or 2.